Hello everybody out there in YouTube world. Yeah, this is going to be a part 2 because we just had some delivery people just come, but anyway, so that's all sorted. Right, again, yeah, thank you for the new subscribers to our channel. I know we had a new one earlier on by the old water gentleman, bless him. And this shout out as well is going to be to Ali B, one of our subscribers, and Ali B asked, would like for us to do a video of how we...
Was interested in how we met.
How we met, basically, yeah, very interested. So yeah, this is what this video is about. How we met and got together and became this amazing couple. Right, so my career at the time, I was working as a home delivery driver. And I won't mention the names because of copyrights and all that jargon. We don't want to go into that. So I was based at the warehouse in Tipton, and then that closed down, and then I was offered a place in Blackheath. That's all I'm going to say, Blackheath. So yeah, I started getting into the run of working from that place, and it was a hot day. I always remember this, and I was doing my delivery round, and then I came to a place in Alderbury, which is part of the West Midlands in the UK, a very big part of the country, but anyway. And I went down this road, and it was a bit steep. I thought, oh, okay, I like it road. It's got a nice little feel to it. So I come down to the very bottom end of this road, and you've got like a little car park area, and then you've got these flats to the left, and they're like on top of each other. They're like masonette flats in a sense, and it's, well, very similar.
Well, what you call low-rise flats.
Low-rise flats, there you go, low-rise flats. But anyway, so I got all the shopping ready, and again, I was very, very hot day. Sweating buckets, you know, I could wring the skin out. And it really was a hot day. So, come down to the far end of where the flats were, and as I was coming down the path, I noticed there was this Buddha, quite a relatively large sized Buddha, facing the door, because I've never seen anything like that. I've seen people have Buddhas outside and facing outwards, but you could tell those just have them for show. This was different. There was a feeling with this, 100% feeling with this. I knocked the door, and this beautiful lady answered the door, and I said, yeah, take your shopping upstairs. Yeah, I did. And the Buddha was just a thing for me, because I thought, oh, I really love the Buddha, and I could see in the home that there was also other Buddha figurines, and it's very spiritual related stuff. I noticed some crystals. I thought, oh, okay, I really like this, and then I asked Max if she was a Buddhist, and then
when I told him I've been a Buddhist for many years, and I said, why are you? And you said, didn't you used to practice it?
Yeah,
you didn't get much time.
Didn't get much time
at that time, did you really?
Yeah.
And I asked him if he wanted some water, didn't I? And he said, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
He said, not many people ask you that.
Nope.
And it was a boiling hot day.
Absolutely.
I thought, oh, that's awful. And you said, didn't you, about the lift in the flats you'd been to before?
Yeah.
It broke down. And I said, it's a good job you're strong.
I know.
And then he, what do you call it, enlisted me into his channel.
Yeah, I was, and I can say this, I was Facebook. Yeah. I was a Facebooker.
Yeah.
I started using Facebook.
I'd never been on it,
no.
and he showed me how to go on it, didn't he?
Yeah, I did how to start an account.
And he just wrote his first book, hadn't you?
Yeah, Out of the Darkness.
And he showed it me. I said, oh, that looks good. And he said, oh, you get it on Amazon. And you said, didn't you, if you get it, I'll sign it.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So I got the book.
Yeah. Weeks later.
Yeah, weeks later. And on Facebook, we just used to message each other.
That's it, yeah.
Answer each other. And
friends, you know, spiritual sister.
Yes.
Spiritual brother and sister. And that's we still are. We still are to this day.
And it was just a nice relationship, wasn't it?
I'm being honest, right? I've had a lot of relationship with male friends over the years. Second to none. There's no comparison. You can't compare. There's none. Because my friends were very very materialistic type of people.
Mm-hmm.
None of them, and I can tell you this now, none of them had that energy inside them. Leaps and bounds with this young lady here. It's just like there's no bounds, there's no barriers, there's no confines or constructiveness, or it's beautifully out there.
We're like one, aren't we?
Yes, it's like that, man.
We're
Yin
just
and
like
yang.
one.
One.
And we became friends, and
Yeah.
the book came. To cut a long story short, and I read it. And by the way, you really need to read these two books if you really genuinely like Andrew and the way he is and that, to learn about his life, because it's one hell of a ride, trust me. And I read this first book. I thought, oh goodness me, that's awful. Horrible life is that. And yet he's so humble. And then I used to... The reason, to be truthful, that I did my shopping in Blackheath is because I'd gone to Bearwood that day. I don't know whether any of you know, but I suffer with fibro and arthritis. Sometimes I can't even go out. So I can only go out if I'm having a very good day, which is very rare, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And the dates on the stuff wasn't to my liking. And I went to Blackheath instead. And that's how I started doing my shopping, and Andrew started delivering. And it was such a nice shop as well to shop in, it really was, the atmosphere.
Yeah, lovely energy feeling.
And I mean, he'd be over the other side of the freezers and he'd say, hello. And I thought, oh, hello. And I'd say, hello, you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. And sometimes he'd deliver, sometimes he wouldn't. It'd be the other driver, wouldn't he? Anyway, I read this book, and we used to still talk and discuss stuff on Facebook, and then privately, didn't we?
Yeah.
As well, in his messenger. And that's how we got to know about it. It's probably like anybody who's over 50 might know, having a pen friend.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what it was
Exactly
like.
what it was, just like having a pen.
You didn't actually see that person, but you contributed through words.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And then one day you came round, didn't you? Because to sign the book.
Yeah.
Nearly give me a heart attack.
Out the blue as well.
Yeah.
I never messaged her to say I'm going to call.
No, it just turned up.
Yeah,
he'd behind the wall and jumped out at me.
That's my ninja skills.
And he signed the book, like, and we talked about stuff. And Andrew was ill, really, weren't you?
Yeah.
Wasn't well enough to work really mentally. Physically, yes.
Yes.
Mentally, no.
No.
But then physically with your knee,
Oh gosh, my knee just went. It just went.
it just went, and it was so swollen, wasn't
Yeah.
it? You had to give up, didn't
Yeah.
you, really?
I had to stop driving.
Stop driving.
Yeah.
So that put you in the shop, didn't it?
Yeah, that added the driving actually, because people don't realise home delivery drivers, it's a very physically demanding job, and mentally as well. And my left knee just gone because I got ligament damage, and I was meant to have major surgery. They was going to take ligament tissue off my hamstring and rebuild
On the knee area.
the knee area, and then something happened along the way where I got let down. I was meant to, because the place where I had to go, it was quite far, and I mean, I was living in Tipton, so I'm living on the other side of the Midlands, and Cannock's on the other side of the Midlands. That's where the place was, a specialist place. I didn't have one at City Hospital or Wolverhampton.
It's because that's where you was originally from.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
originally from Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get there, so I did my own I did some research on rehabilitation, really, without surgery, and Qigong, flexibility work.
You basically built it up.
Built it
didn't
up,
you?
yeah.
Didn't need the op.
Didn't need the op in the end.
Didn't need the op. With the chi as well.
With my
I
with the
strongly
chi.
believe in chi.
Yeah, people don't realise how
I
powerful
really
chi
do.
is.
It helps my pain.
Yeah.
And I've said this before, it does.
Chi isn't a miracle worker, but
No.
what it is, it's an aid. It's an aid, and it really is.
It calms your way of thinking, doesn't
Yeah.
it? When you calm your way of thinking, your body will react
Of
different.
course it does. If you think negatively,
Yeah.
what's going to happen to your body?
Gets worse.
It's going to degenerate.
Yeah.
If you think positive, what's going to happen to the body? Boom, boom, boom. Everything positive in every small increments is going to happen. But yeah,
And awful things was happening to him along the way.
mm,
You know, mentally, depression and
Yeah.
that because of what
Had a
was
mental-
going on.
mental
Had a mental
breakdown.
breakdown.
yeah,
So he was on and off Facebook, weren't you?
yeah, it was.
But he always managed somehow to stay in touch with me.
Yeah, out of all the people.
Out of everyone.
Mm.
You know, and I'd say like, "Oh, do you want me to come and bring anything?" He always said, "No, I'm fine." And I knew he wasn't fine because I'd known him long enough
Yeah,
to know the way he was thinking.
yeah.
Because as I say, we do think the same.
I've never had that before.
We can, sometimes we'll finish each other's sentences.
Mm,
Or we'll be talking to someone and we'll come out with the same thing
Yeah,
at the same
that's true.
time. Anyway, we believed in the same things
Yep.
as well. So the belief that helped as well.
yeah, to this very day, it's still the same. It's
That
actually
helped
gone
as
even
well.
stronger. It's more rooted.
And basically then, I retired, didn't I?
Yeah, she did.
So I got more time on my hands.
Mm,
On a good day, obviously. And I says to him, I can't just arrange to do anything.
no, everything
Because
has changed.
Some days I'm not well enough to even move, let
No.
alone go out.
Mm,
I said, but I'm happy to come and meet you, so I'll ring you in the morning if we're not going to meet, like,
Yeah.
you know, and I'll let you know. Anyway, I did go, didn't I? I did
yeah,
turn
you
up.
did, yeah.
Andrew turned up, the saddest news I'd ever heard.
Yeah, 2022.
His niece, you won't mind me saying this.
No,
will
you can say this, yeah.
God love
got my
her, had
permission.
committed suicide. And I says to him, Andrew, why did you come today? You know, that was the first time I'd gone to meet him for a coffee. And it was so sad. And on top of everything else, you was just broken, weren't you? Absolutely broken. Anyway, as the hours went on and we had something to eat, didn't we? We had a drink. Went to the crystal.
Non-alcoholic, because we don't
Yeah, we
drink
don't
alcohol.
drink.
Cup of coffee, beautiful cup of coffee. Flat white.
And he started to pick up a little bit, didn't you?
It's good to hear.
And he said, like, you know, I said, I'm glad you've come now because you seem a bit brighter. I said, I'm going to go now. I said, but, you know, ring me and let me know when you want to meet up again.
And by that time as well, I was homeless.
Yeah, he was homeless as well,
Yeah.
which didn't help him.
I've been homeless for since 2017. I did, up until 2024, the end of 2024, last year.
I think what it was as well with Andrew, he'd been like renting privately. This nice person, kind person, had given him a room. And this room had gone on for a few years.
Yeah,
hadn't
for
it?
4 years, at least 4 years.
And the man's son wanted to move back in.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, what you're going to do, it's family, isn't
Yeah,
it?
of
Blood
course.
thicker than water.
Yeah.
Now, Andrew wanted to go back to where he originally came from, which was Wolverhampton. Which you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
But they couldn't find him anywhere
No.
to live.
No. And I was on emergency as well.
Yeah, so, you know, your cousin put you up, didn't he? Bless him, Chris. You know, bless him for that. At least he wasn't on the streets.
No.
It gave him a roof over his head, even if it is sofa.
Yeah, that's
it's
what
a
it
roof
was. I
over
was just
their
going to
head.
say that. People don't realise, even when I was homeless.
And do you know, this man never complained once. Not once about being homeless.
No. It was just a shocking knowing that I was.
Just a shock because he felt like, which you do, don't you, if it happens to you. You know, how have I got to this stage in my life? People don't realise how strong mental health issues can affect people and what it can do. It can destroy if you let it.
You could be the most physically
Yeah,
healthiest and strongest person on the planet.
it doesn't matter.
Once this starts playing up, the rest starts. It's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
If the general's not functioning, what are the soldiers going to be like? And the sergeants in the body? They're going to fall on the wayside, along with the general.
And you know, we started talking more then on the phone because I was worried about him, obviously.
Yeah, she was.
And it kept you going, really, didn't it? That did.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to meet up each week.
Yeah,
Which
at
I
least
thought is a good sign.
once a week, at least.
Good sign, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, where he was, they try and do a good thing.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's to try and get people out.
Mm.
But, you know, sometimes it's nice to go for a walk,
Yeah.
you know, all together. And I'm sure these mental health organisations for charities, I suppose they do that, I don't know. But they weren't doing it with you, were
No.
they? It was like, you know, let's go round to where you were, or let's go for a coffee.
Yeah, that's what it was like.
And in the end, they found you a hostel, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
And the first one, the people in it, was nothing like Andrew. Don't
None of them were.
Andrew's homeless. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke.
No.
And yet everybody else around him did. So, you know, can you imagine how hard that would have been for him? Having all that around you, that's like temptation, isn't
Yeah,
it? When you're in a low...
The lowest parts you
lowest part of your
your
life you
life.
could feel and be.
Yeah. And they even used to say to me, some of the people who were there, you shouldn't be here. You should not be here. Someone like you.
But do you know what the key was with it? He was still doing his exercises and sending videos on Facebook.
Yeah, I
you
was.
know, to show he was keeping up for himself, really.
Yeah, that kept me going.
And it kept him going. It really did. He had bad days, don't get me wrong. Really
very
bad times.
very bad days. Yeah.
And then we started going to the cinema, didn't we?
Yeah,
I
we
said,
did.
let's do something else rather than just go for a coffee, really.
Yeah.
Anybody can go for a coffee and something to eat, can't
Yeah,
you,
of
as
course
friend?
you can, yeah.
I said, let's go to the cinema. So we started going to the cinema to watch films. And it was really lovely,
It
wasn't
was
it?
actually really.
It was really lovely.
Yeah.
But you know what the funny thing was? People who we used to know used to say, oh, like, oh, hello to me, you know, his partner. And I think, well, I'm not his partner.
So we
I'm
was
his
very
friend.
good
I'm
friends,
his
very,
best
very good
friend.
friends. And they'd look at us and they'd go,
Yeah.
you sure you two aren't
Yeah.
together? I said, no,
Yeah.
we're just friends.
And
Really good
when I
friends.
was waiting for him one week, I seen one of his friends
We used to work with
who
them.
was with his partner. I didn't know them.
Yeah.
I only seen him when I was with Andrew.
Yeah.
And he introduced her as Andrew's partner.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I don't know what he said to them, so I couldn't
I
turn
didn't-
around and
yeah.
say, well, I'm not his partner, I'm only his friend, could I?
Yeah, 'cause they assumed.
They
They
assumed.
assumed. I never said anything untoward. I
They
told Max afterwards.
assumed.
I said, no, they're really close, good friends because of what we're into, you see.
And this went on for over a year.
At
didn't it?
least,
At least
over
over a year.
Yeah, at least.
But we used to have fun. We used to go for walks around the park. His mental health was picking up, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he moved higher and higher up the
Yeah.
homeless list.
Yeah. So there's 3 stages.
Yeah, till they gave him a place of his own. And he was better, wasn't you, from it, really?
Yeah, I felt
Got his
my
own space.
own independence.
Got his own space. You know, his own interests.
Mm.
And it just took off from there, didn't it, really?
Yeah, it did.
It just took off from there. And the funny thing is, we've known each other 8 years.
Yep.
No, 8 years.
Mm.
The funny thing is, he didn't ask me out.
We went to see the Tom Hanks movie.
We went to see Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
And I'll explain this. I
True
don't
story.
know
True story. as
whether
well.
anybody else has ever
Based on a very true
experienced this.
story.
I haven't, and I know Andrew haven't. We've been going to the cinema like for nearly a year, don't forget.
Yeah.
And we was walking through the town on our way to go to the cinema, wasn't we?
Yep.
On one of my good days.
Yeah.
We saw somebody Andrew used to work with.
Yeah, it's an old supermarket, mentioning no names.
And he says, this is my friend.
Yeah, Jamaican lad. bless
Yeah.
him.
He said, oh, nice to meet you. Didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Anyway, when Andrew was a bit anxious, he used to hold my hand like
Yeah.
this. When he was a bit anxious. So when we went to the cinema, that friend that he used to work with was actually coming into the cinema.
The same movie.
And we were sitting like that, and he looked, and I says to Andrew, I feel awful. And you said, I do as well.
Yeah.
I said, he probably thinks, well, if they're only friends, why are they holding hands?
Yeah,
But it was to calm Andrew's nerves down.
because of her energy as well. I love
It was
her
to
energy.
calm him down. Anyway, we started watching Tom Hanks, and it's an absolute wonderful film, wasn't it?
Based on a true story as well.
Otto.
Yeah.
But lots of the stuff in the film was relating to Andrew's life at that time.
How spooky was that?
And all of a sudden, the tears just flew, which is good for him. Was good for him.
It's good to cry, There's twist men out there.
Yeah.
Never hold on to your emotions.
Let
It's
it
very
out.
dangerous. You've got to let it out, man.
Anyway, I said, do you want a tissue? He went, all right. And I thought, what do I do? Anyway, I gave you a tissue, didn't I? And I did what I always do. I just put my hand on his like that. And I cannot explain to this day what went through my body. From my top of my crown to the soles of my feet. And I thought, what the
Heck is that?
what was that?
You'd never experienced anything like it.
You know, I didn't say anything at that time. And when I used to get home, he used to say to me, ring me when you get home so I know that you've got home.
Yeah.
So I rang him and I said, I'm home now. And he said, okay. Anyway, the next morning, I thought, I've got to ask if he felt that, because that was weird. So I rang you on the morning, didn't I? And I says, Andrew, you know, yesterday, I've got to say, because I don't know what it was. And I mean, I'm very spiritual, but I'd never experienced that
Anything
before.
like that.
And I think that was probably my first feelings of your chi
Yeah.
that went right from the crown of my head through my body like a wave, like it was going like this, like a whirlwind,
That's how it moves.
to the sole of my feet.
The bubbling springs, we call that. The
And
soles
he
of
just said, yeah, I know what it was. I says, well, what was it? Then you explained it to me, didn't you?
Yeah, simplified it, what it was.
And after that, as I say, we never actually asked each other out.
No.
It just
happened.
We just went into a relationship.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
It just happened. It really just happened.
I was not looking for a
We
relationship.
both were.
Andrew
We
wasn't
both
looking for
were.
a relationship. He'd had enough. I'd had
Yeah.
enough.
Well, Max will tell you why I wasn't looking for relationships, and there's a thing behind it too.
He'd been used, basically.
Yeah.
He'd been used.
Yeah.
And when he got no more to offer, nobody wanted to know.
No.
Well, the ones who were close to him at that time.
Yeah.
But there were so many that did want to know. And I says, Tim, you could have your pick of them girls. And he said, I don't want to.
No.
But then they started harassing me.
Yeah, but as soon as when we started our beautiful relationship, within a matter of weeks, you know, not months, weeks.
I thought, well, hang on. Even when we were out, they'd come up to me, push me out the way.
Yeah?
Which is the wrong thing to do, trust
Very
me.
bad.
Wrong
Very, very
thing to
bad.
do.
Very bad thing to do.
Do not push me ever. Anyway, and grab you like those never going to see it again.
Yeah, that was
And that wasn't just
messed up.
once or twice, that
No,
was for ages. Anyway,
on several occasions.
I'm actually coming off Facebook. I've had
Yeah,
enough of
yeah.
this. I cannot stand this
No.
anymore.
No.
I haven't done nothing wrong.
No.
He hadn't done anything
No.
wrong.
We just got together as a
All we
beautiful
did
couple.
was get together.
Yeah.
And there were some nice people on there who befriended me as well.
Yeah.
And but I just decided I'm coming off.
Yeah.
So I had to get rid of everybody really before I came off.
Yeah. Before she come off though, my cousins from Jamaica,
Yeah.
the Osborne family from Jamaica, were so supportive, even to this very day.
Yeah.
They wanted it to happen,
Yeah.
and they were more than happy for us to be together. It was just like a celebration. So thank you to my cousins in Jamaica.
Thank you.
Sending your love to us both and blessing.
And we're still together after
Yeah,
all this
man,
time.
we're still together, you know, family in Jamaica. We're still together, you know, my blood, you know.
But, you know, it was horrendous.
Yeah, it was.
Absolutely horrendous. I mean, as I say, I've been on my own for what? 21 years.
Yep, plus.
I didn't want to be with anyone.
No.
I'd got my own career. I'd got everything I wanted. I could go out with my friends when I wanted to, couldn't I?
And I was 6+ years on my own.
And he was the same at
And
boy then.
And I proved that to my
We
family.
was not looking for a
For
relationship.
anyone, for
And you know
anybody.
what I say sometimes? It's when you're not looking that you find the true one,
Yeah.
don't they? And I thought, you know, I'm too old for all this now.
Come on, man, was close, approaching approaching 60.
And I just thought I just want to enjoy my retirement.
Exactly.
And I had to think very long and hard, and so did Andrew.
Yeah, we both.
Because I could not afford to hurt him again.
No.
He'd been hurt enough by people
You destroyed me.
who'd used him and that, you know.
Nearly
Sometimes you can be such a good person and people will use you for their own advantage.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you've got nothing to offer them,
That's it.
out.
They're just like, and that's no joke, and that's
True.
what they do.
Very,
they
very
just
true.
treat you like an empty can. They've taken what you want from out that can,
Yeah.
and all that's left is the shell of that can, and then they say, yeah, go on, there you go and roll off.
yeah,
End up in the trash.
yeah.
And that's how I felt.
And they left him like that, you know, with
Yeah.
these mental health issues. And couldn't have cared less.
Yeah.
So, you know, they need to question themselves. Did they ever love him? Obviously not.
No.
Because it's for better or for worse,
And
isn't
in
it?
sickness and in health. Like my mum and dad,
Yeah.
they were like that from the get-go.
See, he'd had such a loving bringing up by his parents. Even though there were so many children, they were all loved
Yeah, by mum and dad.
by their mother and their father.
Yeah.
I weren't so lucky. But I just decided, no, I've got to really, really think about this before we go into anything, because we can't. I
Afford.
couldn't afford to hurt him.
No,
I
couldn't
knew
afford-
that. I knew that would have been lethal for
Not
him.
to hurt each other.
Yeah. I just couldn't. And we questioned each other, didn't we?
Yeah,
Are you
big
sure
time.
this is what you want?
Yeah.
And I was like, are you sure this is what you want? And
And she didn't just do it on the off chance, it
No.
was on a repeated occasion, weekly,
yeah,
and that's no joke.
yeah. Because don't forget, I hadn't been in a relationship for 21 years.
And don't forget, we both never had no trust.
No, I'd lost mine a long
My
time ago.
my trust was destroyed in 2017.
Yeah,
That's when it was finally put in the coffin of life, so to speak, and it was. It really was.
yeah. So we decided, yeah, let's give it a try.
Before,
And if it don't work, it doesn't work. But, you know, we was that close and still are to this day with the friendship. But that would never have ended anyway.
no, of course not.
It couldn't have, because we were so close.
Yeah, and I've
You
never
know,
had
we
that.
did everything together.
We
And
do
some
everything
pe-
together.
Some people will say, well, that's not healthy. It's very healthy when you've got the same likes.
Yeah, and I have to say, from our nearest and dearest, have said that about that. God, you're always together. Yeah, what's wrong
Yeah.
with that? Just because you're not like that
Yeah.
doesn't mean to say we have to be like that because of them being what they were like in their own lives. We love our company.
Yeah.
It's our
We love
medicine.
each other's
It's
company.
our medicine.
You know, we like to do the same things.
Exactly the same thing.
We believe in the same things.
Like-
And I've never had that before.
Like, take the number one, right? We just use it as a metaphor. We love the number one of life, or the number 6 of life. We love everything
Yeah.
associated with what we do together as a
Yeah.
beautiful couple.
And it's so nice. It really is so nice. And I mean, that doesn't mean that we own each other.
Nah, that's a different thing
I mean,
there.
Andrew knows he can go and do what he wants
Yep.
when he wants to.
Yep.
No, he's
Yep.
never stopped. And vice versa.
Yeah, exactly.
If I wanted to go out, I could.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't want to. I've done
No,
it.
we've done it all. Come on, man. We're seniors of life
Yeah.
now. It's not like we're in our 30s and 40s anymore. We've gone way past that now.
Yeah.
We're just living our lives together. And that's what we've always wanted in the long run of
Yeah.
life.
It's true.
And it's happened. Thank
It's
you.
really true. But you know, if you ever find that, you probably think, well, how do you know it's right? Trust me, you'll know.
Yeah, it's a feeling from the
You'll
inside which you never thought was there.
I mean, sometimes the feelings and the thoughts are deeper than with your siblings,
Yeah, that's the truth.
you know, and you're treated better than family or whatever, really. And I mean, I can only describe it as I was probably lost when I think back.
Yeah, I think we both.
You know,
were.
men didn't exist to me. Nobody existed. Only me.
Yeah.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
The same with Andrew.
Yeah.
You know, and then when you meet each other and you've got that much in common. I mean, we haven't stopped talking from the day we met.
From the get-go, we'd even chat in our sleep as well, you know.
Yeah.
No, but seriously,
And the rest is history, Albert.
need to say any more about that, you know what I mean?
And I hope one day, if you're not with anyone, that you find that.
Yeah.
I
But
really do.
but don't purposely go out there.
No, don't
for
go
it.
looking
This
for
is
it.
where a lot of human beings make big mistakes. They purposely go out, or they'll take advice from others and listen to that advice. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, no. You will know unexpectedly.
Don't go looking for us.
No,
Because you won't find us.
no. I mean, someone probably say, well, I found what I found. Yeah, but it depends, really.
Well, that's lovely if you have.
You have, that's, you know.
If you have, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
Because I think as you get older as well, always remember, everybody will need somebody.
yeah, at some
And it's
point
so
in their
nice
life.
to have somebody.
It
And I
is.
never ever thought I'd ever say that.
Yeah.
Never. In all my years did I ever think, oh yeah, it'd be nice to be with someone.
Mm,
But now I can tell you, as you get older, you need that companionship.
yeah, I was just about to say that, companionship.
Yeah.
It's a
If it's
powerful
nothing
thing.
else, just a companionship.
Yeah. Mm.
Because it's just so lovely to be able to talk through things, and if you're having a worrying day,
Yeah.
you know, your kids don't want to hear it all the time,
No,
do they?
Yeah. People might say, "Oh, it's offloading." Actually, do you
It's
know what?
not.
Do you know what offloading is? And I can tell you what offloading is. It's when you're feeling negative. Then you're saying that negative feeling, then you're offloading it. That's offloading. What we're on about is it's just our lives together, and when we see things and we talk about this, and when we see things in the news, which is quite a negative thing, which it is, but then we'll see is the news really being truthful about things? Because majority of the news out there is not truthful. Some of it might be,
It's brainwashing.
but then there's the big part of it which isn't. It's like the old saying is, don't believe the hype of life.
I mean, even sometimes you're probably not going to have the same opinion.
Yeah, of course.
And I mean, they say everybody has their arguments. We don't. We
No.
discuss things.
Yeah, we discuss things. I know, come on, man. No life is perfect.
No,
When we do
it
have,
can't be.
when we do have the what they
Little niggle.
little niggle, we call it niggle. It's gone. That's it.
Yeah, we just go, what's
we
the
don't.
problem?
We don't hang on to it. It's gone. It
Gone.
really has
Forget.
gone,
Life's
gone.
too short.
and it is too short.
Life's too short. But you know, that's how we met anyway.
Yeah. So Ali B, there you go.
Hope you like the
just
story.
yeah, we do hope you like, and for all our subscribers.
Yeah.
And we do appreciate for those who have been subscribing to our channel. We really do appreciate it,
Yeah.
because you know you get some YouTube, and I've got to say this: you get some YouTubers out there who treat their subscribers as fans as such, and they're not even a well-known YouTuber themselves. But yeah, we've seen them. We're not like that. We treat our subscribers as equals.
You sure are.
Exactly.
It's just like friends all meeting up and
Yeah.
discussing. That's how we like to see it.
That's definitely how we like to
And
see
you
it.
know, there's a big shout out to Joanne.
Yeah.
She's such a loyal person.
Joanne Carr, is
Yeah,
it?
such a lovely girl.
Yeah, thank you, Joanne.
Thank you, Joanne. We do really appreciate it.
And yes, Joanne, right, please share our channel, tell people about us, because we are who we say we are. And I'll always say this, we're there down straight down the middle of life.
And Albie, we know you're new to the channel.
Yeah,
But you know what? Thank you.
yeah, thank
The way
you.
you support Andrew, I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Because it's lovely. And
Yeah.
anybody else who likes to comment.
Yeah.
Dempsey, ain't that?
Yeah, Dempsey, another
Yeah,
brother, man, a martial arts
yeah.
brother.
Lovely person.
Yeah, and he's a Midlander too, just
Yeah.
like us. Yeah, but
Yeah.
thank you to everyone who
Yeah.
supports our channel. Thank you.
Yeah. Bless you all.
More content again coming your way for you on the channel. Keep doing my martial arts stuff, keep doing our talks, whatever we're doing, shorts. We just do a mixture of things. We're not just a channel for one type of thing. We do a multitude of things, and we'll keep being that way. Okay? And most importantly, everybody, please stay safe out there.
Yeah, stay safe.
Please. And I always say this, well, we always say this on our videos, please stay safe out there, everybody, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
You don't know. Tomorrow may never come.
Exactly.
Be
It's
happy
not
being
a
happy
negative
today.
thing. People might say that it's not
In
a
a
negative.
positive way.
In a positive
If
way.
it does, it's a blessing, isn't
If
it?
it does, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It is a blessing.
Just be happy.
There you go.
Be happy.
Love
Live your
life.
life.
Love it. Love it. Not be obsessed with it. Just be appreciative of life too. Because you only get
Another
one.
thing as you get older, you know what? You realise you didn't need all them things that you had.
Oh,
I mean, us moving,
Well,
we've realised.
we can do a video about that. That'd be a good one to do. Let's talk about. Yeah, honestly.
We've
that-
had to downsize.
Downsize?
Not just once.
Downsize. You call it downsizing. Why? I call it something else.
No.
But anyway, thank you again
Yeah.
for the
Bless
support on
you
our channel.
all.
Yes, exactly. Bless you all.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste, everybody. Namaste. And let's keep that chi of life always and forever flowing. Let's feel that beautiful energy. Let's feel that chi. Thank you.